Okay, so what I'm going to try and do today is to um, try and adjust the trigger pull on my Smith & Wesson 625 JM 45 ACP. The stock JM doesn't come with the Jerry Miculek. It does come with some of its enhancements, but it doesn't come with the Miculek competition or trigger spring kit. So what I did was I bought from Jerry Miculek Bang Incorporated, which is his company. It's a Miculek Smith & Wesson revolver spring kit. It's supposed to be a special spring kit, a strain spring that's actually bent at the top. So later on when I dismantle my gun, you'll be able to see that the stock strain spring is actually straight almost. So this one's bent a little, so it sort of helps to reduce the trigger pull. According to the instructions, it says that obviously to unload and fix and all that. The spring kit works best with main spring is set at 7 pounds. So one of the things that he will advise to do is to adjust the strain screw and then file it down a little, just so that it basically allows you to do a 7-pound trigger pull. So in my gun right now, it's way more than 10 pounds. I don't know, because I have a cheap trigger spring trigger tension scale from Timney. I should have got it in a digital one, but it goes up to 10 pounds maximum. So let's check if the gun is unloaded. Right now it's loaded with snap caps. The reason why I do snap caps is because I have an extended firing pin, and that requires me to use snap caps. They said, when you dry fire, they say don't do it without the snap cap. So I'm just gonna put it in, and it's how it feels light because I've basically trained myself to be able to pull this trigger easily. And it's not really that smooth. He has a lot of all kinds of weird anomalies on the way there. So I'm just gonna try and figure out how to smoothen it as well. Also, if you look at the side and the side of the trigger, there's some trigger contacts the frame, and it sort of rubs it. It's normal with most revolvers by Smith & Wesson, also with a hammer. But for competition, that basically adds on to your trigger pull, according to Jerry Miculek. So I'm going to just try and measure the spring weight. So I set it at 0. Now if I pulled it at double action, you see that it goes way past 10. So I don't know, maybe 12 pounds, 11 and a half. Not really sure, but if you do single action, it's about 4 pounds. There you go. So, 5 actually. So it stops about 4.5, 5. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I. No, you can't see that. Anyway, so that's it. So let me try and zoom in the camera so you can actually see it. There we go. Not sure if it's on focus, but there we go. Okay. Back out a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. So the first thing I want to do, obviously, is to I just want to put some cloth over my working surface. And now I'm gonna disassemble the gun. First thing you do, obviously, is to take out the snap cap. Make sure it's empty. For revolver, it's easy. Remove the grips by removing the grip screw. Right at the bottom here. Okay, this one. Once it's out, and you can pull the grips out. Set it aside. Set the screw aside, and this is the strain spring right there. In order to get to it, we need to open up the side plate. So in order to do that, first I'm going to take out this screw. There are 3 screws. I don't want to scratch my gun, so I got to put it down and dismantle it correctly. First screw is also a retaining screw that retains the cylinder. So now, if I remove the cylinder, I'll be able to pull it out. Okay, like that. Set it aside. Now the side plate screws, the two. On some of the older models, Smith & Wesson revolvers, you see the two different types of screws. In this case, the 625 the same screw. Some of the models have a rounded screw and then a flat screw over here, but both of mine are rounded. Okay. So I before I open this, I just wanted to show you why the string screw affects the trigger pull. Right now I can't pull it. Okay, so as you pull the trigger, you see it sort of tenses the mainspring. And there's a strain screw right down here where you're supposed to tighten all the way. So if you tighten all the way, the trigger pull is going to be really heavy. This is the stock trigger pull. I can feel the difference now. So some shooters actually back this screw out a little bit, like maybe 2 or 3 turns to loosen the trigger pull. The problem with doing this is it causes a lot of light primer strikes where because the tension is not there anymore, the hammer falls and it sometimes doesn't cause the primer to go off. It doesn't hit it hard enough. So there's that balance where you need to ensure that you're using the proper primers that can light off easily, which are more commonly known as federal primers. I think they are the softest, well known for being really soft primers. And then you lighten your trigger and a strain screw, and then you'll be able to fire off every round. Otherwise, you have misfires. Okay, so let's take out the plate. So in order to take out a plate, the recommended way is instead of jamming your screwdriver in here and poke it out, you might scratch things. What you do is you hold on to this frame and you take something that's a rubber mallet or something that's non-marring, and you just tap on the frame lightly. In this case, I'm just using the back part of the blade, which is rubberized, and there you go. Right, pops out like that. Set it aside, and then there's this hammer safety mechanism that physically blocks the hammer from the firing pin. In case you drop the gun, there's no way that it's going to fire because this is physically blocking the hammer from dropping onto the firing pin, which is interesting safety mechanism. A lot of competitors in USPSA take it out. Well, I shoot IDPA, so all safety mechanisms in IDPA need to be there on a gun. You can't disable anything. So there you go. Look at this strain spring. Let me just remove the strain screw here. Back it up all the way. Okay. I'm gonna have to file this down later. Take out the strain spring. There you go. So it comes out like that. So let me set this down. I'll show you the difference between the stock strain spring and the Jerry Miculek one. Look at the difference. One curves more than the other. Bring that closer here. This is the stock. This is Jerry Miculek. See how it's curved a lot more? So that's the difference. Okay, so what does the instructions say? Right. Remove grips and side plate. Loosen strain screw and remove main spring. Pry up rebound slide and remove. Caution, rebound slide and spring trigger return spring is under tension. Reassemble in reverse order, replacing rebound slide spring. So this is the rebound slide, the black one over here. And then there's a spring right in there, which I need to replace using this spring. Okay, and that's held under tension, so if you remove it, it's gonna snap back at me. It's better to wear some safety glasses. How do you pry it back out? You need some kind of tool to hold it down. Okay, let me go and get a tool and come back.